What's up guys, it's your boy Goonzig here. Welcome back to another video here on the channel. In this one guys, we are doing story time. So we're actually going to be talking about one of my most memorable moments on a dirt bike, and it's actually like my most memorable weekend on a dirt bike. It was an absolutely crazy weekend, and we'll get into that as to why, all the details and all the juicy parts of the story. We'll get into that stuff later on in the video, but it was a crazy weekend, alright? So we're going to be talking about a crazy weekend I had of racing dirt bikes. So I'll never forget this weekend. Like, I will never, ever forget this weekend. So I think that's kind of why I wanted to tell this story, and it's just like a cool little story that I can share with you guys. So yeah, let's get into it. Okay guys, so before we get into this story, if you guys do enjoy this type of video at any point in time, feel free to smash that thumbs up button for me. Alright, it would be much appreciated. Don't be shy, don't be scared, it's not gonna do anything bad, and actually, it helps me out. So smash that thumbs up if you're new around here guys, click that subscribe button, become a member of the Goon Squad, and let's talk about my most memorable weekend on a dirt bike. Alright, now one more thing before we get into it. Question of the video guys, let me know down in the comments below, what is like your most memorable moment in life? I wouldn't say this is like my most memorable moment in life, but definitely on a dirt bike. So whether it's moto related or just something else in your life, let me know what your most memorable moment, what is like the highlight of your life, what has that been so far? Let me know down in the comments below. And now let's talk about some moto. Alright, now okay, this story is going all the way back to 2013. So this is crazy. Like it's going back quite some time. All right, and I was young. I was a young little buck, and I just moved up from small wheel dirt bikes, so 85 cc's, and I just moved up to a 125. I just got a YZ 125, hand me down, of course, from my brother. That's kind of how it worked. Like my brother was always older than me. Well, he still is. Yeah, that was worded really weird. My brother's always been ahead of me moving up on bikes, so he moved up to the 85 and then I got his 85. He moved up to the 125 and then I got his 125. Now this story is gonna be interesting because by the end of it I'm gonna be on a 252 stroke for the rest of my life till current day. So this all happened in about 2 weeks. All right, this story in 2013, it was probably August, beginning of August when the story starts, and we were racing at a sand track called Gopher Dunes. Now I was on my 125 racing in the junior class, and this was my first year on a big bike. Remember that guys. Now I was going for the junior championship that I was racing in, or at the club that I was racing with. I was going for that junior championship, and we show up to Gopher Dunes, and honestly I've never been the best sand rider, and being small, being short, and on the 125 on the big bike, like I was struggling. Okay, and I go out there, and what happens on the 125? Well, it blows up. My 125 blows up. I love that bike. Honestly, I really wish I still had it so that I could get out there and ride it today, or ride it these days, now that I'm more experienced on a big bike, and I wouldn't be like just straight up gooning it up and getting sketchy. Alright, but that's besides the fact. Let's get back to the story. Okay, so basically I blew up my 125 in the beginning of the day, and I was forced to ride my dad's 252 stroke at the second half, or for the second motos, right? So I go out there, I race, I get the motos done, and I was like, you know what, that wasn't too bad. It wasn't as scary as I thought it would be, and we'll move on to next weekend. Okay, we're going to Moto Park. It's a jumpy track, one of my favorite tracks, full of jumps. Like that's why I said it's a jumpy track. Like this track is full of jumps, and I figured we have a whole week. I'll be back on the 125 on my bike. I'll be comfortable, and we'll be good to go, and no worries, absolutely no worries. So we show up. It was actually a double header, so the racing was Saturday and Sunday, and we showed up Thursday to ride. We rode Thursday, Friday, and then raced Saturday, Sunday. I'm pretty sure that's what we did, or maybe we only rode Friday. I'm not sure, it doesn't really matter. Anyways, I was out practicing the day before the race, and pretty much the 125 that we just rebuilt blew up. The bike just completely blew up, and that was it. Like there was no going back. The races were the next day. There was no way for us to get the bike rebuilt, in literally under 24 hours. So what was I forced to do? I was forced to ride a 252 stroke. So of course I hopped on. I'm pretty sure, I don't know, I'm pretty sure I rode my dad's YZ 252 stroke. Like my dad would have had a 252 stroke, my brother would have had a 252 stroke, and then I was still on the 125. Now we're all on 252 strokes. But pretty much what happened was I went out there, I practiced a little bit on the 252 stroke, and now this is why this was like the most memorable moment of my moto career, and it comes into play when the racing comes into play here. Alright, so pretty much I practiced on the Friday on the 252 stroke after completely blowing up the 125, and we get out there on race day. We wake up on Saturday and I'm like, alright, I'm going out, I'm racing the 252 stroke, let's see how this goes. So there were no like limits or like rules stopping you from switching bikes throughout the season or anything, and the class has no restrictions on bike size, so I wasn't worried about, you know, any of that or anything. I just wanted to go out and race, and I knew I would be a-okay as long as I, you know, got the results I needed. So we went out there, and you know, we had 4 motos in the junior class. We had 2 on Saturday and then 2 on Sunday. And listen to this, guys. Alright, we went out there, and the first moto, we get the whole shot. We get the whole shot, we go and we win the moto. Okay, now this got my confidence up. I was like, yo, we just got the whole shot and led the entire race. No one had, you know, no one had anything for us. We were absolutely gone, and we won. Then moto number 2 came around. We get out there, the exact same thing happens. Alright, we get out there, we get the whole shot, we lead the entire race, and we get the win. So already starting off the weekend winning both of those motos, that was huge, and that was already like a highlight. Like I was already super pumped on that. I was like, man, I just swept those motos, like start to finish. I was absolutely gone. The guys I've been battling with all year had nothing for me. I was like, yo, this 252 stroke, maybe it's something for me. Now we go to bed, you know, I'm like, I'm gonna stay humble, I'm not gonna get ahead of myself, and we're gonna wake up Sunday and go racing. So we wake up on Sunday, we get out there, we go to riders meeting, do practice and all that. Now we were early in the day, we were like early first moto or something like that, and we get out there, we get on the line. What happens? I have a flat front tire. So at this point, I'm scared. I was just scared. I was like, I don't know how riding a dirt bike with a flat front tire feels. I don't know what that rides like. And of course people were telling me like, oh dude, that's bad, like that's scary, like it's gonna ride weird and you should be careful out there. And here I am trying to win the race, right? So pretty much there was no going back. Like I was already at the gate when we noticed I had a flat front tire. It was too late, there wasn't enough time to go change it or anything, and you know, it was time to race. So the gate drops, we get the whole shot with a flat front tire, which, you know, that's not too surprising because you don't really need your front tire. I mean, I guess you need it to turn, but yeah, okay. Pretty much we got the whole shot and we were leading. Alright, we were leading the race, and one of my buddies actually went down, and they had to red flag the race. So they red flagged the race on like the first lap. Now I was leading, and my whole plan was to get out there. Like I was starting to pull away already, and in the moment I was pretty upset. I was like, man, I got the lead. I was worried about the front tire, but I got the lead, I got the whole shot, and I was doing exactly what I needed to do. Like I was in control of that race even with the flat front tire. Now my buddy went down, he was okay in the long run, but they needed to get the ambulance in and everything. So we had a little bit of time. Like we had a little bit of time to wait and kind of time to kill before our race was gonna get back going. So what did we do? We ran back to the trailer and we changed the front tire. We swapped it out with one of the spare bikes that we had. My brother's bike, he wasn't there riding, so it was like a spare bike for the weekend. We swapped out my front tire with his front tire, got back to the line in time for the restart. We led the restart from whole shot to finish, won that moto, and that right there was like insane. Just that series of events, like my buddy gets hurt, they red flag the race, I have a flat front tire, it allows me to go fix my flat front tire, and then we show up and we lead that race, that restart from start to finish. Like, that was already absolutely crazy. Then what happens in the last moto, guys? We clean sweep it once again. We went 4 motos, 4 hole shots, 4 wins in that weekend, and that's just absolutely crazy. Like, I am never gonna forget that weekend. And obviously it wasn't like, you know, like the top class here in Canada, but not only was I like the best rider that weekend, I was flawless. And I think something that like really hyped me up was that I was battling these guys all year. Like, all year from start to finish. Even after this weekend, I still had battles with these guys. I just had a flawless weekend, which actually led me to win the junior championship. So I'm never gonna forget that. I just think it's absolutely crazy that that happened, and like going 4 for 4 and getting all of those moto wins, like, I'll just never forget it. It's something that's always gonna be there in my mind, and you guys can tell, like, I'm just hyped about it, right? It's just something that hypes me up thinking about it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this story. If you guys want to hear more like real life moto stories, because I have a ton of them, let me know down in the comments below. Like, I raced for a few years. Like, when I say a few years, I mean like 2008 to like 2017 I've been racing, and even sometimes here in 2018. So if you guys want to hear some stories, I have some interesting stories, like the time I ran into someone, of course 100% on accident, but the time I ran into someone and they got mad, but they fell in front of me. Alright, it's long story short, we were battling the entire moto. I couldn't make the pass stick. I was following this guy on the last lap. I was like, I have to follow him until I get close enough to make a pass. He went down, we hit, nothing I could do, and you know, some beef things happened. So if you guys want to hear that story, like, we have a bunch of crazy stories, make sure to let me know down in the comments below. Of course, let me know your stories down in the comments below as well. And other than that, guys, smash that thumbs up button for me, click that subscribe button if you are new around here, and I will catch you guys all in the next one. Remember, guys, oppose nothing, conquer everything. Peace out.